Bravo, Jake Taper. Bravo. Bravo, Jake Taper, for making yourself look like an utter fool online yesterday for attacking Linda Sarsour. Here is the story. Linda Sarsour, who most of you know has become quite the renowned progressive activist of the last few years, even before she was a major public supporter of Bernie Sanders and leaders of the Women's March group, had to get randomly attacked yesterday by a privileged white male CNN anchor. On the Women's March Twitter page yesterday, they decided to do a tribute post for longtime black activist and wanted FBI fugitive Assata Shakur. For those who somehow still don't know the story of Assata Shakur, she was a prominent black activist in the 70s, one of the recognized figures of the Black Liberation Army. On May 2nd, 1973, Assata Shakur was stopped on the New Jersey Turnpike by a state trooper named James Harper, allegedly for driving with a faulty rear light. In the car with Sakata were fellow Black Liberation Army members Zaid Malik Shakur and Sundiata Akoli. In the second patrol car was Trooper Werner Forster. Minutes after they pulled over, both Zaid Malik Shakur and Trooper Forster were dead, and Assata and Trooper Harper were shot and wounded. In 1977, Shakur was convicted on 1 murder charge and 6 assault charges and sentenced to life in prison. She escaped prison in 1979 with the assistance of Black Liberation Army members posing as visitors, and Assata has been a fugitive ever since, residing currently still in Cuba. In 2013, during Obama's second term, the FBI placed her on the list of the top 10 most wanted terrorists. Now, many have disputed the FBI's claims of what happened that day, and with how the FBI and police authorities in this country have forever been proven as ready liars on black people since before the start of U.S. existence. So anyone still believing with no incredulity the FBI story is either a real moron or likes to willingly continue white supremacy whenever they want to. And either one of those two things is what Jake Taper is doing. Since he came out of nowhere yesterday to attack Linda Sarsour in the Women's March for their tweet celebrating Assata Shakur. That full CNN pathetic ethos of we'll listen to both sides and let you decide went straight out the window yesterday with Jake. Jake went ahead and decided to retweet both Marco Rubio and the Free Beacon, one of many garbage conservative websites who causes eye burn whenever you look at their website, and both Marco Rubio and the Free Beacon's tweets condemning the Women's March post for Assata Shakur. Taper then started hiding behind his retweets and listed his own unhinged condemnation of the Women's March supporting Shakur on their Twitter page. Taper went and further doubled down on his a-hole behavior at going fully at Sarsour and repeating his full acceptance of the FBI's words on the story. Now, with him growing up in Philadelphia and being a proud Philadelphia native, Jake Taper has an emotional reaction towards the story. He's had to hear about Assata Shakur since he was young, and he feels that the FBI story is completely the truth here and that there's no way that Assata Shakur is innocent at all. Only it goes again against his CNN ethos of let's hear both sides and we'll let you decide. And what makes this even more hilarious and unfortunate simultaneously is that Jake Taper's colleague at CNN, who does commentary for them time to time for segments on air, Mark Lamont Hill knows more about black history and black issues than anyone at CNN ever. And it's going to be interesting if Jake Taper has the courage to answer or reply to what Mark Lamont Hill said on his own Twitter page, even though he didn't direct the tweets at Jake Taper, but they might as well be directed at Jake Taper for defending Assata Shakur as he has done throughout his years, Mark Lamont Hill, and how he had no time to listen to the Assata Shakur haters yesterday. So I decided to send those tweets of Mark Lamont Hill to Jake Taper by adding him only for Jake Tapper to be too cowardly to respond, but yet again post another link trying to believe fully the FBI's thoughts on what happened that day. Now, Linda Sarsour was obviously annoyed with Jake Tapper's random craze fest directed at her yesterday, and Linda Sarsour is one to not back down for when she is attacked. So she said yesterday in response that Jake Tapper was welcome to the alt-right family. Now, of course, Jake Tapper isn't alt-right, and you had people literally thinking that Linda was unhinged because they always want to attack Linda with any chance they can get, and decided that she was just being completely out of line for calling Jake Tapper alt-right. Only, of course, if you had a semblance of common sense, you would know that Linda was purposely exaggerating a bit because of the behavior of just absurdity from Jake Tapper felt like someone from the alt-right. Of course, Jake Tapper isn't an alt-right figure. He is a regular centrist corporate media journalist. But that centrist corporate media journalist who has done good work in the past and trying to at least be better than the average centrist hack media anchor journalist, he acted like a right-wing buffoon yesterday. And especially retweeting the likes of the Free Beacon and Marco Rubio shows the behavior of a centrist journalist who was acting like a conservative PR mouthpiece. Now, it would be great if Jake Tapper apologized to Linda Sarsour for how unhinged, out of control, and frankly creepy his Twitter tirade at her yesterday was. It would be great if he realized this case is so complicated and that I need to evaluate it more to have a better assessment of the case than just believing what I've always believed, and that is the FBI's account of this story. It would be great if he did that. But he hasn't, and with any centrist cable news source, when they attack the left, when they are clearly in the wrong about it, he likely won't be apologizing anytime soon or at all. And that is why this video is being done, because you have to call him out on his BS and how deranged he was, especially to then retweet the likes of Marco Rubio and Free Beacon despite being such a centrist, objective journalist. For TYT Politics, I'm Andrew Jones, and once again, bravo, Jake Tapper. Bravo. Bravo, Jake Tapper, for making yourself look like a deranged lunatic yesterday and going against, for a rare time, your network's ethos of hearing both sides of the story by taking the side of the FBI, who has been known to lie on black lives.